Our learning goal for today is I can rename mixed numbers and fractions greater than 1. Mr. Borland has 2 3/6 loaves of cornbread. Each loaf was cut into 1/6 size pieces. If he has 14 people over for dinner, is there enough bread for each person to have a piece? There's a couple of things I need to think. How many slices will it take to make a whole loaf? And how many slices will Mr. Borland need for 14 people? So let's talk about the first one first. How many slices will it take to make a whole loaf? Well, it says each loaf was cut into 1/6 size pieces. So in order to have a whole loaf, I would have to have 6/6 pieces. And then the next question says, how many slices will Mr. Borland need for 14 people? Well, it says that I'm just looking for enough bread for each person to have one piece. So I would really only need 14 slices. So let's take a look at 2 3/6. 2 is the whole number. So this represents 2 whole loaves that Mr. Borland already has. So each one of these would be cut into 1/6 slices. So we would have 6 pieces here. I'm not going to label the second loaf as 1/6 on each one, but it's the same as the first. So there would be another set of 1/6 pieces. So that would be 2 whole loaves. Then it says that he has 3/6 left. So he has 2 whole and 3/6 pieces. So I would have to shade in 3/6. So now if I counted up all the pieces that he has now, he has 6 here on the first loaf, and 6 here on the second loaf, and 3 on the third loaf. So it would be 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. And remember, all of this is out of 6 because 6 makes the whole. So this would be 15/6. So this would have been 6/6 plus 6/6 plus 3/6 equals 15/6. So 2 3/6 is the same as 15/6. Well, our question asked if he had enough bread for each person to have a piece. Well, remember, we only needed 14 slices. So because he has 15 slices, we know that everyone can actually have a piece of cornbread. To weave a bracelet, Kaylee needs 7 pieces of colorful thread. Each piece of thread must be 1/3 yard long. How much thread should she buy to weave the bracelet? So there's 7 pieces, and each of the 7 pieces is 1/3 yard long. That's why I have 7 1/3s right here. So we really have to think, how many 1/3s would it take to make a whole? So 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, because we would need to have 3/3 to make a whole. So let's see. If I have 7 pieces, so each one of these would be my 1/3 piece. So this 3 of them together would equal 1 whole. And another set of 1/3s would be equal to 1 whole. And then I would be left with 1/3 left. So if I added these up here, this would be 2 whole and 1/3 left. So 7/3 equals 2 1/3. Write the mixed number as a fraction. So 1 1/8. Well, one whole would be 8 pieces, 8/8. Let's see if we can do this without a model. So 1 whole, and then we have 1/8. 1 whole would actually be 8/8 of a piece, and then 1/8 would be just 1/8. So 8/8 plus 1/8 would equal 9/8. So 1 1/8 is the same as 9/8. Let's try it one more time. 1 3/5. Let's see if we can do it without a model. 1 3/5. 1 would be the same. To make a whole, you would have to have 5/5. So in this case, it would be 5/5. And then we have 3/5 left over here. So 3/5. So 5/5 plus 5/5 is equal to 8/5. So 1 3/5 equals 8/5. Let's write the fraction as a mixed number. So the whole would have to be 4, because our denominator says that it's 4. So 4/4 would be our whole. So let's try it with the model first. So if I have 11 pieces, and I say that 4 would equal a whole, this is 4. Let me get a different color. This is 1 whole. This is 1 whole. And this would be 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. So I would have 2 whole pieces and 3/4 left. So 11/4 equals 2 3/4. What about 6/5? Let's see if we can try it without a model this time. So 6, I can break it into 2 different things. I know I want a whole piece because it's over 1 whole as it is. So my whole piece would be 5/5. Well, there would still be 1 left over. So this would be 5/5 plus 1/5. So this right here would be 1 whole. So this would be 1 1/5. So 6/5 equals 1 1/5. I want you to try a couple of them on your own. I know these are a little bit difficult, but I want you to try them and see if we can work on them before we get to class tomorrow. Write the mixed number as a fraction. Draw a model if needed. So I want you to change 2 2/3 to an improper fraction. And then on number 2, it says write the fraction as a mixed number. And you can draw a model if needed as well on this one. If you need help, look back at the examples that I showed you on the problems before. If you have any questions, write them down and we'll take a look at it tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow.